What's happening, crypto traders and investors? It's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Wednesday, May 25th. Happy hump day. Hope you're well today. And in this video, going to be discussing the top 5 massive crypto catalysts, bullish catalysts that is, that we can potentially be expecting over the next few months. A ton of people asking me what's going to turn this ship around. Are we near a temporary bottom, or are we going to be heading down to the 20K area on Bitcoin? Going to discuss all that and more. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe and take the bell. You've been notified on any future updates. I did a tweet yesterday, the top 5 major crypto catalysts that we can potentially be expecting, and I ordered it from in no particular order. But first on the list here, Grayscale spot Bitcoin ETF decision due in June or July. This is going to be huge in my opinion. Obviously, the biggest catalyst that we can potentially be expecting. I don't think Bitcoin's going to hit a new all-time high this cycle unless this spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved. And you can see here from an article from CoinDesk, Grayscale had productive meeting with SEC on Bitcoin ETF conversion. So if you're familiar with Grayscale, they have a trust at the moment and they're looking to convert that into a spot Bitcoin ETF. We know that the SEC has already approved futures-based ETFs, but a spot Bitcoin ETF would mean that they're actually holding the underlying asset, so Bitcoin, in the ETF, right? So that would be huge and extremely bullish for the space. Following a productive meeting, we remain encouraged by our ongoing engagement with the SEC, a Grayscale spokesman told CoinDesk. At Grayscale, we intend to maintain an open dialogue with regulators and policymakers as we look ahead to July 6th. Grayscale in October 2021 initially applied to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust into a spot ETF, and the SEC has since pushed off a decision, but currently plans to render a verdict by July 6th. And we know that additionally, asset manager Bitwise has a spot Bitcoin ETF application pending review with the SEC, final deadline of June 29th as well. So this, in my opinion, is the biggest catalyst. If anybody else can think of any bullish catalysts or bearish catalysts, let me know in the comments below. But these are the top ones I could think of. This is the biggest catalyst in my opinion. The markets are in extreme fear at the moment, and we're likely closer to a temporary bottom here. We've also got some other signals and indicators that we can potentially expect to mark a bottom, which I'll look at here in a moment. Something I want to remind everybody is we are now over a year since Canada launched its first Bitcoin ETF. So we have a blueprint, right? We have the proof of concept, and we know that Australia just launched a Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETF, which went live. You can see here this article from May 11th. So the writing's on the wall. We know that once the dominoes start to fall, it's just a matter of time, right, before the US follows suit. We've already got 2 futures ETFs for Bitcoin in the ETF. So in my opinion, it's just a matter of time before they approve the spot Bitcoin ETF in the US. I think it has a really good chance. If I had to guess, I would say Grayscale has the biggest chance of getting that passed. Flare Networks is also due to launch on July 4th. So you can see here Flare Network launch date on July 4th, 2022. That is going to be huge for the space as well. It's been delayed multiple times, but as of right now, that looks like that is the go live date. And again, all of these catalysts lining up to that June, July, leading into August. We also have Ethereum proof of stake merge, which is scheduled at some point over August and September. We know that open Ethereum support ended with the merge fast approaching. Vitalik actually said that we could potentially expect the merge to take place at some point in August, maybe a little sooner, or maybe a little bit later. He said it could potentially happen in the fall as well into September. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. But all the stars aligning to a massive, massive move to the upside, in my opinion. If all of these crypto catalysts overlap, we could be due for a massive blow off top. And like I said, if this spot Bitcoin ETF gets approved, I think Bitcoin's going to be heading to about that 100 to 80 to 100K area. But if it doesn't get approved, I don't think we're going to hit a new all-time high this cycle. Something else, Ripple versus the SEC case, right? We could see a settlement. A summary judgment is coming up in the next few months. So if we were going to see a settlement, it would be sometime between now and the next couple of months. Also, attorney Jeremy Hogan, who we're a big fan of on this channel, runs the YouTube channel Legal Briefs. Give him a subscribe. Check out his latest video, but he says the Ripple lawsuit is reaching an end game, and here's why. So you can check out that article from the Daily Hodl. Not going to go into it in effort of time, but also check out Jeremy's recent video as well. We could be seeing a settlement brewing at some point soon. We know that the World Economic Forum conference is going on right now with a big push for crypto and regulation. We're just seeing all the stars align, right? And we know that Congress could potentially pass some bills which could be favorable to the Bitcoin and crypto space, right? We know that if they define some clear rules of the road, we could potentially see, the SEC has been lagging on that front, right? They haven't really done anything in terms of providing, rules of the road and some clear regulatory guidelines. So if Congress were to step in and actually write some rules of the road, that could be another catalyst as well. Something to note is Tesla also reaccepting Bitcoin for payments. That's something that we could potentially see in their annual meeting. We know that they have scheduled the annual meeting for shareholders, and that's to be held on August 2nd. They also have earnings coming up as well. Again, we could potentially, this is just me speculating, no confirmation or anything like that from Tesla, but again, something that I think would be absolutely massive for the space, right? We know that Cardano hard fork might be available, the testnet, on June 2nd as well, with the mainnet launch slated for June 29th. So again, all of these bullish catalysts lining up for around this same time. We know Litecoin also activated its Mimblewimble M-Web upgrade. LTC surged, and this is the performed upgrade, among other reasons, to significantly improve transaction privacy on the Litecoin network. And we know Litecoin is going to be supported by Flare Networks as part of those F assets. So again, seeing tons of bullish catalysts. We know Amazon is going to do a 20-for-1 stock split. That is scheduled. They got the shareholder approval, and I believe that's going to be in mid-June that they're going to be conducting that 20-for-1 stock split. So that's going to be something that is likely going to create some bullish momentum in the tech sector. We know that tech sector has been completely crushed, and we're likely due for a bounce, and Bitcoin and the overall crypto space has been very correlated to the NASDAQ and equities and the tech sector, right? So we know we're likely due for at least a weekly lower high and a monthly lower high on a lot of our names. Bitcoin is in a monthly downtrend at the moment, though. We do have about 6 days left in this candle, so we'll want to see as big of a wick on the monthly time frame here as possible. We know we're going on 9 candles in a row, 9 weekly candles in a row in the red, which is a record. So we're likely due for and coming off weekly oversold as well, we're likely due for at least a weekly lower high somewhere around that 36 to 40K region on Bitcoin. Likely going to happen at some point next week, this week or next week. We have multiple weekly inside bars. So resistance to be watching is 31,293 and key support there at 28,605. If we lose support, we continue weekly consolidation. If we break resistance, then we start the weekly bounce. Something I'll take a moment to highlight here as well. We're potentially seeing a bull cross of the stochastic, but still got some work to do there to get over the 10-week moving average and a bull cross on the MACD. But a lot of analysts are speculating that we need to come down and touch this 200 weekly moving average there at 22,000 on Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments below if you think we're going to test that 22,000 area. Personally, I think it's possible, but I think we're due for at least a weekly lower high and a bit of a relief rally here, and then potentially a weekly lower high, and then one final capitulative moment down to that 200 weekly moving average there at 22,000. That's what I'm going to be looking for. We had a death cross back here on the middle part of January as well. Very close to a bull cross and a golden cross there on the daily time frame. Still got a ton of work to do though, and it'll be multiple weeks before we see a golden cross occur on the daily time frame. Going to end it there though. Let me know in the comments below if you have any other catalysts that you can think of, whether or not they're bullish or bearish. Always love hearing from you. If you could smash the like on your way out, help support me in the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, subscribe, tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. Thanks so much for joining us again on The Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you in the next video.